Rudy Giuliani, the former New York City mayor and Donald Trump's one-time lawyer, has had people talking for years about his friendship with Maria Ryan. Officially, they call themselves business associates and close friends. Unofficially, well, when two people are constantly together, at official events, at the White House, and even spending holidays side by side, it's hard not to suspect there's more going on. They've stuck to the just friends line since 2019, but many are convinced Ryan is actually Giuliani's not-so-secret girlfriend. Back in 2018, the New York Daily News reported they were seen at a New Hampshire resort, right in the middle of Giuliani's divorce from his third wife, Judith Nathan. Giuliani said it was just a business meeting with his good friend, Ryan. She, who was married at the time, and appears to still be, brushed it off as politically motivated, telling a local magazine it was simply a group dinner. But then came a twist, a recorded conversation between Giuliani and his former employee, Noelle Dunphy. In it, Giuliani openly claimed he and Ryan had a 2-year relationship, but that she'd never leave her husband. At one point, he even recalled her joking about whether her husband could live with them if she and Giuliani got married, because apparently the two men got along so well.
It's okay.
Things got even messier when Giuliani admitted in that same conversation that his own son, Andrew Giuliani, stopped speaking to him over the situation. Rudy said he'd spent Thanksgiving with the Ryans for the second year in a row, and Andrew wasn't thrilled. In fact, he warned his dad that if he spent Christmas with them too, he'd never talk to him again. Rudy also claimed Andrew worried about Ryan's husband, calling him crazy, and even warning in his words that someday he's going to hurt you. Giuliani brushed that off, saying he didn't believe it.
Because that's not something we're going to agree about.
After the transcript went public, Giuliani's lawyer accused Dunphy's team of leaving out parts of the conversation that, according to him, showed Ryan's husband knew about the relationship. The lawyer called it an attempt to embarrass Giuliani and asked the court to strike it from the record.
That's pathetic.
Meanwhile, Maria Ryan, or Dr. Maria, as she brands herself, is more than just a side presence in Giuliani's life. She's a licensed nurse practitioner and former CEO of a hospital with decades in medicine. She holds a PhD from Warren National University, a now-defunct school that was never accredited by recognized U.S. education authorities. Ryan has long defended her degree, saying her state recognizes it and that it gave structure to what she'd already learned through work.
And I probably agree this is true.
She's also been a fixture in Giuliani's business dealings since 2018, starting as a consultant before becoming a full-time executive at Giuliani Communications. The pair even co-hosted a WABC radio show before moving to a TV project on Mike Lindell's Frank Speech platform. And then there's the bankruptcy drama. Ryan's name popped up when creditors questioned payments Giuliani made to cover her credit card bills. At times, I would use my credit card or my personal money to help Mayor Rudy Giuliani with groceries, medicine, or other bills. The mayor would reimburse me using his retirement fund, she explained. Sure, Ryan, because I'm sure Rudy, with staff at home to handle errands, really needed you personally to pick up his groceries. And Maria's hardly the first to make Rudy's love life tabloid-worthy. His 3 previous marriages, including one to an alleged second cousin and another to a TV personality, kept the headlines coming. Rudy's romantic history has always been headline gold, much like his friend Donald Trump's. And here's a juicy bit. He actually cheated on his first wife with the woman who would later become his second wife. And guess what? The boomerang effect hit hard. She allegedly cheated on him right back. Now, let's take a closer look back at the scandalous chapter in Trump's life. Donald met Ivana, née Ivana Zelnichkova, in 1976.
Lady Trump, I was first wife. Okay. I don't know what is Melania problem. She just has to get over it.
She ended up in New York City for a modeling gig, and during a dinner with other models, Donald swooped in. He secured the group the best table in the place and joined them. Smooth move, right?
And I turned to my girlfriend and said, I have a good news and bad news. What is the good news? You're going to get a table real fast. What is the bad news? This fellow behind me is going to go and sit with us.
By Christmas, Donald asked her to go on vacation. They went to Aspen and had the most romantic time together. On New Year's Eve, Donald told her, "If you don't marry me, you'll ruin your life." now that's the Trump we know. And despite having known each other for only a few months, Ivana agreed to marry him.
Donald always had a great head on his shoulder, and I saw the potential.
They tied the knot on April 9th, 1977 in New York City. And during their honeymoon in Mexico, Ivana became pregnant with their first child. On December 31, 1977, their son Donald Jr. was born. The couple went on to welcome 2 more children, Ivanka in 1981 and Eric in 1984. A picture-perfect marriage, right? But wait.
He did not know how to speak to them in the children way of thinking. So he was able to speak to them only when they came from university, when eventually was able to speak business with them.
Yeah.
You know, but otherwise he really did not know how to handle the kids.
Donald and Ivana weren't just partners in marriage, but also in business.
And I was chief executive officer, and casino really did very well. It was the most profitable hotel casino in the United States.
However, their seemingly perfect marriage hit the rocks in 1989 when Ivana discovered Donald's affair with model Marla Maples.
Did you see warning signs?
I really didn't. I really didn't.
It all happened during the family's annual holiday trip to Aspen. Ivana ran into Maples outside a restaurant, with patrons and the rest of the family watching.
We were actually standing near the restaurant, getting ready to put skis on. And I was standing there like an idiot. And Marla and Ivana were here. And there wasn't shouting, but you could obviously see there was some friction.
Turns out this affair had been going on for years.
Do you think unless the two had actually come face to face, you would have confronted that situation?
Well, it's interesting because it's possible that, maybe it would still be going on. I'm not sure.
The affair made headlines, and in March 1990, Ivana officially filed for divorce, resigning from the Trump Organization a few months later.
In my case, it was just so clear, and the trust was broken so badly that I knew that it was just no way it could be patched.
Maples and Donald continued to date on and off, and in 1993, she became pregnant with their first child. Their daughter Tiffany was born on October 13, which Maples later called the greatest unplanned surprise of all. Despite Donald previously saying he had no plans to get married again, the couple decided to tie the knot shortly after Tiffany's birth, on December 20th, 1993.
We really anticipated getting married and having a baby, not having a baby and getting married.
So why didn't you marry her right away when you found out she was pregnant? Why did you
Indecision.
The pair remained married for 3 years before separating in May 1997. Maples later explained the split, saying that they differed on how they viewed the world and how they wanted to raise their child.
So I think you always hope in a marriage that you can bring out the best in each other. But after many years, we realized we weren't.
However, rumors swirl that the real cause was Maples cheating on Trump with his bodyguard, who was caught with her on a deserted beach. Probably not just having a late-night stroll. But Maples have always denied the affair, of course. But it's not all bad blood. Despite their rocky past, Donald and Marla managed to mend fences. They even managed to share an Easter celebration in April 2023. Who knew divorce could come with a side of friendly get-togethers?
He's the father of my child. I do not want to ever speak negative about it. But do we agree on everything? Absolutely not. We would be married if we still agreed on everything.
But Ivana, who passed away in 2022, clearly wasn't ready to forgive and forget.
I don't want to talk about her. She's a show girl, never achieved anything in her life.
In her 2017 memoir, Raising Trump, she didn't hold back, saying, "She actively participated in humiliating me in the media and indirectly put my kids at risk for months. I went through hell, and then I was expected to be okay with her being around my children?" Ivana's words reflected the deep hurt and betrayal she felt, a pain that her friends believe she never fully overcame. Well, who could blame Ivana?
He's free at the moment, isn't he? He's single.
Yes, he is.
Would you not like to get back together with him?
Nope.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you would like to get back?
Nope.
So, with all this scandal and drama, who do you think was the true love of Trump's life? Let's discuss in the comments.